this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today is our second of our holiday layouts, of the second of 12. And today we're going to play with the Flurry of Fun collection. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I haven't actually used this collection yet this year, so I am really looking forward to sharing this with you. I hope it's one that you like, and this comes from another CM blog entry from a few years back. I think this is another one from 2019, so just prior to COVID. And so I think it's one that you'll enjoy doing. I enjoyed doing it. So let's check out my workspace and we'll get started. All right, so this is my workspace for today. This is day 2 of our Christmas layouts for December, and today's layout is going to be more focused on the weather and how chilly it can be outside. I found this layout on the CM blog back in 2019, November of 2019 specifically. And if you're interested in printing the instructions directly from the CM blog, I will have a link in the description of the video that you can go to that will allow you to print these. Or you can go to the CM blog and sign up for their notifications and all of their fun new layout ideas, and they'll come straight to your email. But if you're not interested in doing that, or maybe you just don't want to search for it, just go grab the link and print it out. Okay, we're going to do some modifications to this. This is not going to obviously be what ours looks like because we're going to use different punches, different papers. It's going to be quite different, but it will be fun. So I hope it's something that you have a lot of enjoyment from. We are going to use the Flurry of Fun pack of papers to do this layout, and I have chosen to also use this is called the Snow Pals punch. Now you can no longer get this. It's been sold out on our webpage. But if you are one of the people that got one and contributed to it being sold out, then here is a layout that you can follow that's going to use this punch. If not, then you can use any punch, any decorative punch like this for this type of a layout. So it will require a little bit of modification, but you can use the Winter Village like they've used here, or you can use many different ones. So depending on which ones you have available, just pick one that you like and use it. Okay, we're also going to use the Mittens and Flurries Border Maker cartridge because I think it's just super cute with its mittens and snow and various things. And so we're going to use that for a portion of this. We're also going to hopefully get to a point where we can use our shimmer pens. I've been looking forward to using shimmer pens for a bit now. Haven't used mine for a little while. So I think that's going to be fun. I've got repositionable adhesive and permanent adhesive out. We're probably going to use both of those. And as far as my papers go, most of these come straight from the Flurry of Fun paper pack, but a couple of them don't. So I have platinum and white shimmer paper. Those are additions. So if you don't have those in your stash, look for some white cardstock at least that you can use, and the silver is going to augment the white, so hopefully you have something that will work with that. Okay, just going to set those up there and out of the way for a minute. Then we've got the blue plaid from Flurry of Fun. This has some kind of icy, snowy, frosty look on the back. We've got a red plaid and another broken ice, like on a lake or something. We've got this one, which this paper has so much movement. It's almost kaleidoscopic for me. And fortunately, it doesn't do that on screen. But in person, every time my head shifts, the pattern on the paper shifts. So it's kind of a little bit eclectic. And it has this kind of star pattern on the back, which is pretty. And then these two papers are going to be our base papers. And this has a really nice stripe on the back, but we're going to use the darker side. And I'll just mention right now that when I use two papers that have a texture to them, but are not the exact, but are not a pattern like a plaid would be, I like to turn them so that the paper looks different as I lay it down for my base. So I'll probably do something like this to make each of the pages look a little bit different. All right, so that paper is going to go up there also. So right now, what we're going to do first is we're going to do some punching. I'm going to set these papers aside over here. I'm going to grab that shimmer paper that I set up here just a second ago. Where is it? Here it is. We're going to punch some of these cute snowmen, and I just think these guys are so cute. I am so glad that CM created this cute punch for us this year, especially with the cute little heart that they are holding on to together. I just think it's so cute. So we're going to use this guy, and we're going to make a fun layout today. I don't know about you. Because I grew up in Southern California in an area that not only did we not get snow, but like we had temperatures in the 70s for Christmas most years. So I know that sounds weird, and especially for my friends here in Utah, they'll be, rolling their eyes or something. But it's not, snow is not an innate thing for people who don't grow up with it, right? We don't know how to deal with snow. I've learned to deal with snow because my husband's Army career took us to many places throughout the United States and the world where there was snow during winter months. And so we have learned to appreciate snow. And my husband loves to ski. So when he was younger, he would ski. Now that he's older, ironically, he taught himself to snowboard, which is kind of funny because I was always of a mind that snowboarders were the ones that were the young kids and that the skiers were kind of the older people. And, not that we are super venerable, but we are getting there. And so I think it's fun that he taught himself to snowboard after he retired from the Army. So snowboarding is a thing in our house, at least for Dad. And because he enjoys it so much, I always end up with photos of the mountain that he enjoys going to, the one that he has the pass to go and spend time on. So he enjoys going to Snow Basin. We'll just make this a really quick little commercial for them. Snow Basin, if that rings a short little bell for you, Snow Basin is where portions of the 2002 Olympics were held, and portions of the 2034 Olympics are going to be held there as well. And so my husband really enjoys his time on the mountain at Snow Basin, and I got to go up there for the first time back in September when they had Oktoberfest up there. And I got to go up on the gondola and see the view, and it looks nothing like it looks when he's normally there, but it's okay. It was beautiful, and I see why he enjoys it so much. I prefer, maybe like you, I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments, but I prefer to enjoy my winter and snow from the warmth of my home. And I think, honestly, if I'm being honest with all of you in YouTube land, I think I prefer to view it from inside my home because I have fallen so much. Fallen on ice or fallen on slippery bits of snow. And so it's just easier, and I feel like it's safer for me if I stay home. Safer for everyone if I stay home. But I know that my husband would like it if I went with him at some point. So at some point, it would be fun. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to punch a border. So I'm going to use this Mittens and Flurries border to kind of replace this sort of floral border that they have in here with the blue. And so I'm thinking that I probably ought to use this blue plaid for that. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. So let's go ahead and we'll punch some of that with the border maker system. Okay. So we don't have to worry about the backside because it's not a directional pattern, and the plaid really is not a directional pattern either. So we're going to just punch 2 rows of this. We're going to punch one on this side of the paper, and then we're going to turn the paper around and punch a second one. And then the fun thing about this one is you'll notice all the pieces that punch out you can throw into a cute little shaker card, and those would be darling because they're all dots or swirls or mittens or little snowflakes. Perfect for a shaker card. So if you're a card maker, this is a good border maker or border punch for you for that purpose. I always like to see what our punches are going to punch out and how I might be able to use those pieces for something else. And if you don't know how to make a shaker card but you'd like to learn, would you put a comment, put something in the comments so that I know you would like to learn how to do that, and I'll do a video on it for you sometime because they are fun. Fun, fun, fun to do. And simpler than you may think. Okay, so we've got our 2 rows of mittens. Now we're going to grab the trimmer. We're going to just trim each of these off, just a straight cut. So I'm going to come up here so that I get the punch to the point where I can't see my cutting line anymore. And then I'm going to go another 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to go to 1 1/8. 1 1/8 should be perfect. And as long as both sides are the same, it'll be fine. Okay, so 1 1/8. There's 1. I'm going to turn that around, measure this off at 1 1/8. So there's our 2 mittens and flurries. All right, so now we've got this punched, we've got these 2 punched. Now we need to decide what we're going to do for this one. Now we can punch another, we can use another punch and punch that as well, or we could use a 12-inch sticker in there. So keep in mind we have a dark background, So probably not this one because we'll have blue next to it. And we've got blue in the background of the page. So we could use this one with the stripe and put it across the edge, that tiny little edge. And it would go across the top edge of the bottom one and across the bottom edge of the top one. I think I kind of like that. I think it works good with the plaid because they both have that stripe in there. Okay, so we'll use this ribbon for the red here. What else do we need to do? We need to cut those smaller pieces. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut these at 1 inch. So we're going to cut an inch from this paper. We're going to cut an inch from the plaid paper. We're going to cut an inch from this red paper, and I'm going to cut that. Actually, I'm going to cut it across this edge so that we have that kind of icy look. Because we're going to be cutting it into smaller pieces, I don't want to use this icy look because I think it will not show up. Alright, then we're going to use the rest of this plaid to make mats. So they've got, oh actually, I take that back. I need 2 pieces that are 1/4 of an inch wide. So I'm going to just line this up on the very edge of the gray trimmer mat. And I'm just going to cut 2 at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so there we've got those. Okay, now this is going to become mats, but I'm not going to cut those just yet. Let's cut this first. So I'm going to cut this into 3-inch pieces. So I'm going to stack all of these. I have 3 1-inch strips. I've stacked them together. And I'm going to line them up here on my trimmer. And we're going to cut them into 3 by 1 inch pieces. Okay, so there's 1. And here is going to be number 3. And we will have a couple of extra ones, but I just wanted to be able to play with different ones. Okay, I'm going to set my trimmer aside for just a second. And we're going to do some adhering before we get too far. Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead and adhere our snowmen. So grab your repositionable adhesive. We're going to put some across the base. We're going to put some on each of the top hat guys and one on this little end person. And then the silver is going to be a shadow, so we're going to offset it by about 1/16 of an inch which isn't very far, but it is far enough that it creates that illusion of depth that we're looking for. Okay, so just like that. And it gives a bit of a three-dimensional quality. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to this other one. Same bit of space. You're just going a bit to the right and down a bit to allow that little bit of shadow. Okay. And then we're going to come over here and let's go ahead and play with assembling this. Okay, so I'm going to take one of my rows of snow people and one of my rows of mittens. And I think I might need to put something underneath my mittens. So I think what I'm going to do, because I have it out and handy, I'm just going to use some more of this white shimmer. We're just going to cut two 1-inch strips of white shimmer. All right. And before we get too far here, I'm going to go ahead and take my Mittens and Flurries. I'm going to grab, just so I don't have to clean off my workspace before I can proceed, I'm just going to grab my little mat. I'm going to take my repositionable adhesive and add that to my mat. Add it to my punched piece. Okay, then I'm going to center that 1-inch piece of shimmer underneath my punched strip. Careful not to let it kind of want to go funky at the end so that you have a buckle. Okay, so there's that one. Let's do this one real quick. All right, so there's our other cute little mittens. Okay, I'm going to leave this out for a second because we're going to need it again here in a minute. So I'll just set it over there. All right, so we are going to have our snow people are going to be kind of this upper level. I've got a piece of red that we're going to run underneath the snow people. And so actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to need to add this to my snowman. So I'm going to put a little repositionable adhesive across the bottom. And I did it. Sorry guys. Got it all over my workspace anyways. Okay. Then I'm going to to try to make this easier, I'm going to try to, I want to line this up. I'm going to stick it down in my workspace actually. Line up this little 1/4 inch strip so that it stays level and in the same place. Okay, so like that. Then I'm going to take my snowmen and I'm going to place them down on top of that little 1/4 inch strip. Now, because my snowmen are offset, I don't want to place them even with the very edge of my paper, because the platinum is the very edge of my paper, and that's not where I want that. I want it to follow the white shimmer. Okay, so there's that. So this will go down on here. I'm thinking about 1/2 inch or so from the top. Then we're going to have, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this down so that it's, again, I'm just putting adhesive on the top hat snowman and the base. Nope. So the top hats are about 1/2 inch, maybe just shy of 1/2 inch from the top of my page, top of my base page. Okay. For some reason that looks crooked to me. So hold on. Hold on to your hats, Mr. Snowman, because I need to make sure that's not crooked. That's gonna bug me if it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do my lining up of my paper on the table or on my mat. So my paper is nice and straight. And then I'm going to have a line I'm shooting for to keep the red line straight. All right, that looks better. Okay, then we're going to take a few of these. We're going to take them and we're going to go and make them varied. So kind of like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere these, and these go edge to edge, so make sure your edges are all lining up, because you're gonna need a straight edge for your mittens to go on. Oh, that's disappointing. Look at that. I'm short. How did that happen? When I cut them all at 3 inches, I must have cut them short somehow. All right, so this is what we're going to do. The end ones go to the edge. I'm not throwing this paper away. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Okay, so we'll just line it up so that there is a tiny little line in between. And the ones on the edge ones on the outside go all the way to the edge. Okay, so now we have little bits in between. Then this guy's going to go right in there. Sorry this is upside down, but it is kind of the easier way, I think, to assemble. Make sure that everything is nice and tight up against that area. Okay, now we're going to do the sticker. And the sticker is going to go right across. You'll notice this is a banner sticker, so I want to make sure that I'm covering the seam of the paper, which can be tricky when you have a wavy border like this. So what I'm going to do is, in order to make sure that it is in the right place, the dip in the ribbon is what needs to hit the edge of my punched piece above it. Okay, so that will help you line up a sticker like this a little bit better. This one, there, that's a little bit better. Okay, so like so. Then we're going to put our blocks are going to go straight across the bottom. So I'm going to need, actually may need more of these 1 inch by 3 inch pieces, only because I did not account for the second page that we're doing. So okay. Actually, I'm going to switch these out. So this is going to go right in the corner, right along the bottom edge. This one's going to go along the corner of the opposite side. And remember, we're leaving just a little bit of a line to accommodate for the fact that my cut was a little short. So if your cut was not short, then don't worry about that. Oh, that's funny. These strips are not, they're not coming up short. Very strange. Very, very strange. All right. Those other ones definitely were short. This one is slightly. Okay. Interesting. Okay, now I'm going to put my mittens on. So actually, I'm coming to realize too, sorry about that, but we need to do twice as many of the Mittens and Flurries punches as well, which you have plenty of paper for, so that's not a big deal. And I'm just going to put this on here a short 1/4 inch up from the no, that's not how we do that. Guys, who's been yelling at me? I'm not hearing you. Okay, this one goes right on top of our blocks. Okay, let's try that again. Right on top and at the edge. There we go. 3rd time's a charm. Okay. So now we have that on there, and now we need another ribbon. However, I'm not sure I want to put the ribbon on there, only because I want the other page that I'm going to do to match. So I think I'm going to save this ribbon to put on the right hand side of the page. So I think I'm just going to leave, no, I'm not going to leave it like that. Let's put this red strip across, and that will finish that off. I like that idea. Okay, so we'll put this red plaid 1/4 inch strip across. So we'll need 4 of these when we cut initially as well. Okay, so 4 of the Mittens and Flurries and 4 of the red plaid 1/4 inch strips. And 4 of the white 1 inch shimmer strips to go underneath here. All right. Now I'm going to make 2. We're gonna make 4 actually. Let's make 4 mats. These are just going to be standard size mats. So I'm cutting 4 strips because I'm going to need this paper to do the others. Okay, so we're going to do 4 strips, and we're going to do, let's see, let's do 4 by 5.5. Let's do 4 by 5 and 3/4. 4 by 5 3/4. Then we can make both of the pictures the same size. Okay. So those will be for the other page. So mine is turning out a little bit different than the blog post, but that's okay. I like the way it's coming together. When you use different papers and you're maybe a little bit more limited because you don't have the same supply of the papers, because you're using something that's part of an old collection, or like what happened this year, so many things have sold through, I think it's okay. we make it work, right? Okay, then as far as embellishments go, we have these super fun artsy add-on kits, which are super creative. I love that CM has come out with these. They will continue into next year from what I understand. They have these, they come with mats, which are great. They also come with the ideas and the embellishments to put together 6 clusters. And these clusters are unique embellishments to the Artsy add-on kits. They are not the same, at least I'm told they're not the same, as the embellishments that you get in the embellishment packs, which I like because that gives us just a little bit more variety, right? So we've got You're Never Too Old. We've got Snow Days, Mittens and Boots and Snowflakes and Snow, and it's fun to play in the, which we would add snow to, Frozen, Hearts, Trees, Winter Adventures. I love it. Okay, so they are using, you can make up your own clusters with these. You do not have to use exactly what they suggest. But for the sake of ease here, I'm going to go ahead and create the cluster that they've got, just so that it's a little easier to get it done. You'll notice these have a number and a letter on the back. That's to make it super easy for you to correspond the different pieces. So notice this one says 4A, this one says 4B. That's because they go together. So this one would go on top, then the mittens would go with. Notice how the mittens say 4C on the back. And they would kind of go like that. So we can do all bundled up. We could do Frozen Frosty Fun. I think we'll do that. And you can pop these up with foam squares, which is another fun thing to do. I like to use foam squares a lot. I think they provide really nice depth to your pages. I'm not using them here, not because I don't want to, but just because this is faster for the moment. Excuse me. So we can put this one kind of down here. When you put an embellishment on your page, you always want to try to put it, imagine a tic-tac-toe board on your page, and then put your embellishments where the lines would cross, or approximately where the lines would cross for that tic-tac-toe board. And then your eyes are naturally drawn to those areas, and so it makes it really cute. Excuse me, I think my voice is kind of done for today, but I think I'm doing better, so that's good. What do you think? I think it turned out super cute, and I'm really excited about using the Flurry of Fun pack for some of our layouts this holiday season for all of your winter Wonderland adventures. And for those of you who don't live in an area that has many winter Wonderland types of adventures, you're welcome to come to Utah. We have lots. Or You are welcome to modify this layout however you need to make it work for where you are. I would love it if you would share some of those examples with me, and I wish that YouTube made it so that you could share a picture in your comments, because I think that would be super fun to see what you're able to come up with using this layout. I'm going to do a second page to this, and hopefully have both of them available for you to see. Okay, so I put together the other side, which I'm excited about. I had almost forgotten that I wanted to use the shimmer pen, and so this is the new white shimmer pen, which if you haven't used it yet, I would encourage you to use it, but use it only on areas that you want to be white. So I'm using it on the snow on this embellishment to kind of give it some shimmer. I think I'm going to use it on some of the snow in the tree, and the reason I say use it only on the areas you want to be white is because when I opened this shimmer pen for the first time a little bit ago and was playing with it just a little, and then I set the piece aside that I had that initial kind of glop of ink, you can see how it left white, right? So it is white shimmer. The shimmer itself is kind of gold, but there is white ink that's going to come out when you use it. So don't use a white shimmer pen on something that's not white and not expect it to turn white when everything dries. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of make you aware of that. And I'm just using it on my embellishments to kind of give them a little bit of an extra impact. When you use one of these, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so you can be approximate in where you're putting your lines, and it all works out. Uh-oh, I was worried about that. So sometimes when you're using a new one, or if you squeeze too hard, little ink bubbles come out, which is what just happened there. So anyway, just something to think about as you are working through using something like this. I'm going to add a little to this one because it's not as sparkly as I had hoped it would be. Sometimes the paper that you put it onto absorbs the ink quicker, so then you don't get as much of that sparkle. So here we have a little bit of blue sparkle, which we could add to the mittens. A little bit, maybe just down the side. I have a red one somewhere, so maybe I'll put some red on that cute little scarf. But you can see as I wipe that off, see how my fingers are white. So just a little bit of a warning so that you understand kind of how they work and why they are the way they are. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this is a layout that will be something fun that you can add to your stash, add to your albums, and enjoy. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Enjoy your day. I'm excited.